Let's be real for a second. Our phones haven't just gotten better over the last few years, they've gotten obnoxious. We're sitting here in 2026, and the average flagship is basically a small tablet. 6.8 inches is the new normal, and honestly, our pockets are tired. Our pinky fingers are literally deforming just to hold these glass bricks. Apple killed the Mini, Asus sized up the Zenfone. For a minute there, it felt like the dream of the one-handed flagship was officially dead. But today, Sony just decided to stop following the crowd and start a revolution. Get ready, this is the Sony Xperia Compact 2026. Design and display. Sony has always been the cool indie kid of the tech world. They kept the headphone jack when everyone else went wireless, and they're still giving us micro SD slots in a world of cloud subscriptions. Now, they've done the impossible. They've engineered a 5.9-inch masterpiece. I know, 5.9 inches sounds tiny by today's standards. But once you see these bezels, you realize it's all screen. This isn't a lighter budget version. This is the Bravia team going all out. We're looking at a 4K HDR OLED panel with a 144Hz refresh rate. Even on a smaller canvas, the depth is insane. The blacks are bottomless, the colors are vivid, and most importantly, you can actually reach the notification shade with your thumb. It's a literal game changer for ergonomics. Camera setup. Now, let's talk about the cameras, because Sony and photography is a love story for the ages. You won't find a clutter of useless lenses on the back here. Sony chose quality over quantity. At the heart of this thing is a massive 1-inch 50-megapixel main sensor. That is the same physical sensor tech found in professional mirrorless cameras, packed into a frame that fits in your palm. Then there's the zoom, a periscope telephoto lens capable of 10x optical zoom. Imagine a phone this tiny taking crisp, clear shots of the moon or a stadium concert. For the creators watching, it's a cinematic beast, shooting 4K at 120 FPS across all lenses. Your slow-mo shots will look like a high-end Hollywood production, no rig required. Performance. People usually assume small phone means weak processor. Sony's response: hold my coffee. Under the hood beats the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. This isn't just a mobile chip, it's desktop-level power. With 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of ultra-fast storage, this thing handles 8K video rendering and AAA gaming like it's a toy. And don't worry about the heat. Small bodies usually mean thermal throttling, but Sony developed a nano-vapor cooling system that dissipates heat instantly. You can game for hours, and the phone stays as cool as a cucumber. Battery backup. The Achilles heel of small phones has always been the battery. But it's 2026, and battery tech has finally evolved. Sony has packed a 5000 mAh solid-state battery into this compact body. Since the screen is smaller and more efficient than those 7-inch monsters, this thing is a legitimate 2-day battery king. Plus, with 100-watt fast charging, you can go from zero to ready for the day in just 15 minutes. Price and launch date. Now, for the reality check, the price. This isn't going to be cheap. We're looking at a price tag between $950 and $1,100. Critics are going to say, I could get a Pro Max or an Ultra for that money. But here's the thing, this phone isn't for the person who wants the biggest screen. It's for the minimalists. It's for the people who want a classic statement in a world of oversized clones. Sony's biggest challenge isn't the tech, it's convincing the world that smaller isn't less, it's better. So, I'm curious, are you ready to go back to a time when you controlled the phone, rather than the phone controlling your pocket? Drop a comment below. Would you rock a 5.5-inch flagship in 2026, or are you addicted to the big screens?